welcome to Not Your Status Quo's pre-Infinity War predictions. I like that.
And theories.
And theories. Let's go with theories. Remember, if you like what you see, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button so you get notified when we make new videos. And is there more to that? No.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Theories on the plot. I think I'll go first.
Please.
I have to have the readers on. That's just the way I am. All right, what I think happens, and this is just like my whole opening scene. I think, just judging by the post-credit scene in Thor and what you see in the preview, I think what immediately happens is Thanos and the Sanctuary 2 overtake their ship from the end, and he jettisons all the Asgardians, which really sucks. It's a sucky way to go, but I think they do it. And he tells Loki to produce the Tesseract, and Loki does, like he does in the preview. And he crushes it in his hand, gets the Space Stone, puts it in his into his gauntlet, and then he makes Thor watch, and he grabs his head, and as he kills Loki. And sometime during the melee, either Loki or Thanos jettisons the Hulk. Maybe he jettisons the Hulk from the when he's doing all the rest of the Asgardians who are floating out in space.
Well, now, do you think it'll be Loki using the Tesseract to jettison the Hulk? Because he ends up at the Sanctum Sanctorum, which we know from Thor Ragnarok. Loki has been there and knows how powerful Doctor Strange is. So that may be his way of saying, get him out there to get help because Thanos is putting together the Infinity Gauntlet.
That's true. That's true. Either way, he's jettisoned from their craft, and I think that's what we see, like you said times before, when we see the reflection in the sky, and when they first do the flip in the beginning of the preview, you see that red ball coming down the sky. I think that's the Hulk going into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and so that's what I think the opening is going to be. As far as like the Infinity Stones, I do think, my personal opinion, I think that the Soul Stone is Wakanda. That's why Thanos shows up there. A few other things of note. When the Hulk crashes into the Sanctum, and then I don't know why Tony Stark is there. I don't have a theory on that, why he's there yet. So we do know that, and we do see Thor.
Now, do you think, because we see the Hulk crashing in and we see just Wong and Doctor Strange, do you think as soon as he finds out it's Bruce Banner, he calls Iron Man to get there?
It could, but they have no previous knowledge of each other as far as we know. So, I mean, that's very valid, but we don't know.
Very true.
So, and then there's the scenes with the Vision and Scarlet Witch. Maybe they seem separate from the rest of it until maybe the battle where they're drawn into it. And I think that like when they're on their little retreat or whatever, when they're together, that's when Corvus finds them and goes after the Mind Stone. There, of course, there's Thor and the Guardians. When they find him, when he lands on the Milano and they let him in, he's like, "Who the hell are you guys?" I think it's going to be like 3 stories that all converge at the end. And there's a few other questions I'll save for later in the video.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Now, a few things that I think. First off, because we were in the scene where we see him crush the Tesseract and pull the Space Stone out of the Tesseract and put it in his glove, he already has the Power Stone. So I think this movie is going to start off with him arriving on Xandar with the Black Guard and utterly destroying Xandar to get that Power Stone. So I think that'll be the first scene. We're going to see just how powerful Thanos is, and it's going to be pretty awe-inspiring.
I have one question about that.
Yeah.
So if the movie starts there, you think that's what happens before the post-credit scene in Thor?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
You know, they've shown scenes in post-credits that don't happen at the beginning of the movie before. So I think that was kind of, because it was Thor, they were showing kind of what happens when they're flying.
Okay.
But I do think Xandar is going to be the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Now, we do know the Tesseract is going to be grabbed. That'll probably come next. And then he's going to be hunting down the rest of the Infinity Stones. The Ether, or the Reality Stone, we know was with the Collector.
Mm-hmm.
So is he going to go to nowhere to collect it from the Collector? Pun intended. You know, the Scepter, or the Mind Stone, is with the Vision. And as you said, we know Corvus Glaive and maybe Proxima Midnight come to grab that from him. It looks like he might survive, but that could be trickery with the video too. We don't know if he survives, and we'll talk here in a minute who we think is not going to survive this movie. And then Doctor Strange has the Time Stone. We know that they're kind of all in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and maybe it looks like he's on Titan in a couple scenes, so we don't know if that's going to be where they decide to do battle with them at the end, because we do know there is supposedly about a 25-minute battle scene at the end of this movie, from what the Falcon actor, I can't think of his name right, Anthony Mackie, has said. It was 25 pages of script in this final battle, so that's going to be awesome. And then finally, the Soul Stone. We don't know where it is at this point. Is it Hemdo? Maybe. He has the eye color for it, so that's always possible.
And he can see everyone's soul.
That's right. Or is it something that's already on Titan, and for whatever reason, that's why the heroes go to Titan, to try to recover it before Thanos gets it, now that he's putting the Infinity Gauntlet together.
This is the section where we decide who dies.
Well, who dies, who we think will die.
No, I'm going to kill them.
Okay. I don't have that kind of power. So.
If they don't die, I'm going to find them and kill them. That's how it's going to be. No, I think, let's go one by one. I think that War Machine. I think he's
James Rhodes.
James Rhodes. I think he's done. I think that's the hand that Tony's holding when he's sitting there and he's holding this. And you got to look for that hand to be there, but it's there. I think that's Rhodey.
I think Captain America's going to die. We know in the comics he has been replaced by both Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson. Mm-hmm. And I know Chris Evans has said that Avengers 4 is his last movie as Captain America. So I think he's going to die in this movie, and what we see him in Avengers 4 will either be flashbacks or something else. But I do think either Bucky or the Falcon will take over the mantle of Captain America.
I think that would be a good thing. Let's see here. I got to put my glasses back on. Sorry.
Okay.
You
want me to go again?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I also think Iron Man might die. I think he's a logical choice. Once again, he kind of started the whole MCU with Iron Man, and this might be his swan song, and it might be the thing that brings all of the heroes together to finally put a stop to Thanos.
Okay, and I think we both agree on this next one. I think the Vision is done. Unfortunately, I like the character, but I don't think he's going to make it without that Mind Stone.
Now, the only thing he does have possibly going for him is that we see Shuri, Black Panther's sister. It looks like she's working on him on one of the things.
True.
So maybe he will survive and just be a little depowered after they get the Mind Stone from his head. I think Drax might die.
That I don't know.
Because
either way.
He is hell bent on destroying Thanos and killing him for what he did, and I think if he tries to face off with him one-on-one like he did with Ronan the Accuser, it's going to end very badly for him.
And yeah, we saw how Ronan took him to town. So.
Who the hell are you guys?
I think the Avengers 4 title is going to be. As you know, it was originally Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, and I think it's going to be a continuation of the story, but I think what's going to happen is Thanos is going to collect all the Infinity Stones and have it in his gauntlet, perhaps even snap his finger to wipe out half the universe, and Avengers 4 is going to be Infinity Gauntlet.
And I like that. I like that theory. Mine was... my theory is that it was going to be Secret Wars, because we talked about this before, and you kind of convinced me because... my guess on the after credit scene, I don't know, we want to guess on that, would be with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and we all know that her movie is it's set in the 90s and probably dealing with the Skrulls. So I think it's going to be Secret War, and it's going to change some of the events that happened in this movie. Maybe and if like it happens in the comics, Thanos snaps his fingers, half the world, half the universe is dead. Adam Warlock gets his hands on it and gets it all back.
But we haven't seen Adam Warlock yet.
Right.
So,
it's not going to happen in these movies, but it's possible that somebody can get it back.
Nebula could wield it.
She could.
And now, if we're talking about the post-credit scene, what keeps, and obviously we have not seen the movie yet, we don't know, but we know there's one post-credit scene that happens at the end, and I think it is going to be a memorial for whatever Avenger dies. If it's Captain America, we're going to see the Avengers gathered, and it's going to be, reliving all the things he did, whether it's Iron Man, Captain America, or whatever. I think it's going to be a memorial for that fallen Avenger.
Oh, I personally think it's going to be Carol Danvers, showing what, like how she's going to show up in the post-credit scene, and it'll be like, oh, we got this whole new weapon here. That's,
It very well could happen. I can see that happening.
I can't wait to find out. That leads us to our next question. There's a few people that were not in the trailer, so you don't know what's going on with them. There's a Peter Dinklage character that I don't know. I don't think they've given him a name as far as IMDb. Looking it up.
Is it going to be Pip the Troll? Is it going to be someone else, King of the Dwarves, that helps Thor wield that or forge that new weapon? We don't know. And
Ant-Man, Hawkeye. We have theories on Hawkeye. Hawkeye could be Ronin. We don't know. But Ant-Man, I haven't seen any inkling of. I know he's in the movie, but I haven't seen any inkling of what he's going to do.
What do you guys think? Put in the comments what you think is going to happen with these characters. And don't forget, we will be seeing Infinity War tomorrow night, and we will be posting a spoiler-free review. Once again, we will not spoil anything in the movie for you because we don't want it spoiled for us, and so far I've been able to avoid spoilers. So I'm pretty excited, and we wouldn't do that to you, so we'll talk to you tomorrow night.